Well, Hadley, I had the opportunity to join the stage at the Middle Eastern Bankers Forum yesterday in Abu Dhabi with the UAE Central Bank Governor. He weighed in on a number of issues here across the Emirates. The first was that decision last week to cut interest rates by 25 basis points, essentially moving in line with the US Federal Reserve, as it has to, like many other GCC economies, because of its currency peg. He said that that decision to cut interest rates will essentially help to bolster the economy and shield it from any external risks. He also highlighted this idea that the US economy is potentially on track for a recession as well, and outlined a number of other uncertainties facing the domestic market and banks. One of them was the property sector, and I asked him how the central bank is viewing this decline that we've seen in property prices since 2014, down by about a quarter. At the same time, the ongoing pipeline of supply and weak demand really impacting the market here, and potentially the domestic banks which are exposed to the property market. He said that essentially he disagreed with the comments that we heard from the Denmark CEO that falling property prices would not result in a disaster for the UAE. But he did also say that banks have essentially learnt their lesson from 2008 and beyond, and that lending is not going unnoticed and unmitigated here. Listen in.
We have learned the lesson from the 2008. And banks have learned the lesson, so they have been prudent in extending loans to the real estate sector, and we have this 20% cap. And I want to tell you also that real estate in terms of level is, if you look at some of the offers they have now, is very attractive. So the risk level has been reduced. So you're not buying at the peak, you're buying at the low. And I think there was a UBS report where they showed Dubai as in the attractive category for real estate. Of course, supply needs to be controlled. That's no doubt about it. And I think there was a higher committee established to review all these projects in Dubai. And all these measures should result in a more prudent growth path going forward.
One thing that I know you're exploring is perhaps the question of, should banks with a real estate exposure above a certain threshold be subject to additional regulatory requirements? Is that something that's actively under consideration now?
As I mentioned, we have this paper for consultation. UBF was supposed to come back to us end of the month. They asked for an extension. So it means there is a lot of discussion internally. So yes, there will be, if a bank wants to lend higher than the cap, the minimum cap, there is a higher overarching cap. They cannot, even if they want. Yes, they need to put more capital.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.